Lying back calmly, Chi Kingmo demands that Lin Zichen immediately transfer his qi and blood into her. The potent pill she just forced him to swallow is rapidly regenerating his energy, and if he doesn't unload it soon, his body will literally explode. To begin the transfer, she tells him to place his palm directly over her heart and release the energy. Lin Zichen's brain instantly short-circuits as his face turns beet red. Placing his hand directly over her heart, that is literally right on her chest. The pure awkwardness of the situation is hitting him like a truck. But with the fiery red energy swirling around him and his body on the verge of bursting, he has no time to be picky. Pushing his embarrassment aside, he presses his hand down onto her chest and begins transferring the surging power before it tears him apart. Desperate to distract himself from the incredibly awkward position he's in, Lin Zichen scrambles to start a conversation. He asks if her ability to refine spiritual energy alongside her blood-quenching technique means she dual cultivates both the immortal and martial paths. Chi Qingmo calmly confirms that she is indeed a master of both. She breaks down the ancient lore for him, explaining that the immortal path is all about refining the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, while the martial path focuses on refining the physical body. The blood-quenching technique he's been practicing is just one of many methods belonging to the body-refining path. Neither path is superior to the other. They simply represent different approaches. While the immortal path relies on spells and laws, the martial path relies on physical might. Yet, despite their different directions, both paths of evolution eventually lead to the exact same destination. Naturally, most people prefer the path of least resistance. Since refining spiritual energy is a whole lot easier than the brutal grind of refining the physical body, the vast majority of powerhouses in her ancient era chose to walk the immortal path. This raises a massive question for Lin Zichen. If both paths lead to the same place, why would anyone waste their precious energy dual cultivating? Chi Qingmo reveals that the spiritual energy in her era eventually began to dry up. Cultivators had no choice but to transition to body refining, or they would have completely perished when the cataclysmic age of Dharma decline arrived. Once that dark age of depleted spiritual energy officially hit, almost every living being was doomed to a swift and unavoidable death. Only an elite few, like the legendary mustachioed sealed expert and Chi Qingmo herself, were powerful enough to successfully seal themselves away and survive the apocalypse. 6 hours of intense, soul-draining energy transfer later, Chi Qingmo finally calls a timeout. She notes that Lin Zichen's qi and blood are nearly tapped out, advising him to rest up during the day so they can continue the grind tonight. But she isn't just taking his life force for free. She hands him a bottle containing his compensation for the upcoming daily transfusions. Lin Zichen opens the bottle to find the very same pill she forced down his throat earlier. Chi Qingmo explains that these are legendary bloodbath pills. Consuming one will instantly supercharge his qi and blood recovery, which will be an absolute game-changer when he attempts to open his heart and torso acupoints, or if he ever finds himself in a brutal life-or-death battle. Pocketing the incredible loot, Lin Zichen realizes he has a golden opportunity to pick the brain of a literal living legend. He asks Chi Qingmo if she can help him solve a mysterious puzzle. Pulling out a piece of paper, Lin Zichen shows her the bizarre alien runes he's been trying to decipher. Chi Qingmo studies them closely, admitting she doesn't know their exact meaning, but she definitely remembers seeing identical markings on ancient ruins back in her own era. This revelation sends Lin Zichen's mind racing. Ancient ruins from the era of abundant spiritual energy? His brain instantly flashes to the mysterious, submerged undersea temple he saw on Principal Mo's video recording. If those runes are connected to her era, this underwater temple might be a goldmine of ancient secrets. Sensing a massive breakthrough, Lin Zichen bolts for the door, begging the pavilion master to stay awake just a little longer while he runs to the research institute to grab the recording. Not wanting to be left behind, Shen Qinghan immediately dashes after him. Desperate to get the video to Chi Qingmo as fast as possible, the two sprint through the institute. But as they frantically kick open the door, they are greeted by a sight that completely freezes them in their tracks. Standing right there is Yu Yan, fresh out of the shower and completely naked. The sheer face-melting shock leaves both Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan screaming in horror.